It was 30 years ago when Priti, a gold medalist from the Tata Institute of Social Science, had her first brush with Kamatipura, Mumbai's infamous red light district. What struck her wasn't just the plight of the prostitutes working in the area, but the fact that sex trade had a way of thriving across generations, catching children born to prostitutes within its dark underbelly. And that's when Prerna was born, a non-profit organization working to protect rights and restore dignity to the children hailing from this background. The organization works on a three-pronged approach: night care centers, educational support and work-related placements. The movement, which started in 1986 with a mission to eliminate second-generation trafficking, is now also focusing on human trafficking across borders as well as gender violence issues. So far, Prerna has helped transform the lives of over 10,000 children.
We found otherwise children during the evening hours when the red light areas and the brothels are busy with clients. That was the time the children were most vulnerable. That was the time the children were most neglected. And that was the time when children were high, their vulnerability was high on being exploited. So we said, let's start, let's at least try and keep these children safe when the mother has absolutely no time to give to the child.
Prerna's methodology has been acknowledged by the UN General Assembly, and this best practice model has been replicated by other NGOs in India, Nepal and Bangladesh. Since 2011, Prerna has been working closely with the Supreme Court-appointed panel on prostitution to suggest ways to rehabilitate women caught in the flesh trade. Celebrities like Nagesh Kukunur and corporate houses like the Taj Group of Hotels, Johnson & Johnson, Western Union and Goldman Sachs have been associated with the Prerna movement over the years. But intervention in human trafficking areas comes with its own shares of troubles.
In the early days when we would do our outreach, the brothel keepers would tell us, take the child, educate the child so that this child grows up to become a prostitute and entertain richer clients because she would be more educated. But we had something else for the children, and that we were talking about rights and that we were also talking about laws. That was the time when they really felt threatened. And there were times when we've had brothel keepers come together to ensure that the children don't come to the night care center.
The battle is far from over, which is why the organization is focused on scaling up for the future. Plans are in place to take the Anti-Trafficking Center online in the next 5 years, providing information on anti-human trafficking laws across the subcontinent. Priti also wants to mentor and train other organizations engaged in similar relief work.
Buying children and women and selling them just because there are people who think they can buy human beings as commodity is a mess created by our society. And I think we should, all the wrong done has to be changed.
The task may not yet be over, but the transformation is surely underway. A transformation that is not just changing lives, but in its own way also changing India. In New Delhi, Shruti Mishra with Sauravi Prasai.